There's pen, check. Something to drink, check. Mouse within reach. Oh, snaps. Why did these buttons get so big? There we go. Oh, Ripley. Definitely forgetting something. Absolutely forgetting something. But when everything stops working, right before you start streaming. According to this, I'm not online yet anyway. Anyway, you can hit start and then it farts. Farts on your live. Oh, there we go. Online. Now the stream is actually starting soon. Who knows how long it started streaming while I was still talking and thinking it wasn't streaming yet. Alright. Online, online, online. Check. Buttons are up. Screen, drawing, pen. I don't know. I can't imagine anything I could be forgetting. Right? Right? Ripley? Yeah. Anything? Is everything cool? We meant to change a bunch of stuff, but we didn't. Yeah, I'll blame you anyway. So it's all good? Is it all good? You're not even looking at your pad. You're just tapping away. What could you possibly be doing? You're looking away completely. You're just pretending to work. You're just pretending you know. This is all a farce. Where's that even green screen at? You've green screened yourself a green screen behind all of the actual things that are here. Who puts that kind of effort into stuff? Why are you looking away? As if, oh, I'm so innocent. I'm just a delightful purple cat with a little curly Q on my head. Oh, there you go. You looked at the screen. Oh, for the love of. Alright, I can't stay mad at you. Can never stay mad at you. Do 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 do. Ow. Do 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 do. Ow. Oh yeah. Ripley, we gotta test this thing. Forgot. Okay, no check marks. What? One check mark. Two check marks. Three check marks. Alright. Now I think we checked everything. I think we checked everything. Oh, for the love of. Okay, stop using the mouse. Grab the pen. And oh wow, that juice is sweaty. That is a sweaty bottle of water. Camera one. Camera one. Camera one. I think that looks fine. Pretty sure that looks fine. Oh. Oh. What a week. What a week indeed. It's straight up Tuesday. Like, I know a lot of people like to post that thing where it's like, hey, it's only Wednesday, it's only Tuesday, Liz Lemon. But seriously, it really is only Tuesday, and you're acting like it's Thursday afternoon over here. It feels like Thursday afternoon. What is... Okay, sorry. Had to rebuffer. Had to rebuffer. Oh my god, it's hot. Alright, so anyway, it's 1,000 degrees. It's the beginning of the week. We gotta come up with something to draw. But first, there's only one thing. Hey, could I jump in with something? I have words to say. Always some words to say. And the important things that I have to say start with, once upon a time, in a land called Hollywood, there was a man, and he was astride a horse. And that horse's name... Oh, I see.
Tell your friends, and tell your hot mom. There's no such thing as grownups.com.
Camera one. Camera two. Camera one. Camera two. This is for me. And this is for two. But this is called camera one and the other one is two. It would make more sense to call this one two because there is two. And this is my camera for my extreme close-ups and Wayne's Worlding as needed. And my name is Milo, and your name is Kermit. Known you your whole life, but you don't know my name. That's fine. That's okay. That's what we do. Sometimes we have to find the pen that goes with this magical drawing tablet so that we can draw some pictures while we ramble on about things and such and nonsense, and of course whatnot. Never forget the whatnot. Tell your friends. Oh, everybody just left Facebook. I saw you leave, but you're already gone, so you don't know. What was I just about to check on? Ah, yes. This thing. Okay, I already pressed that, so that's fine. That's fine. Back here. Just pressing buttons on my phone. That's what people do on TV nowadays. They just look at their phone. Streaming monitor. And... alright. Didn't mess it up. I didn't mess it up. I just messed it up. Okay. Okay, and we're go. We're go now. This is no such thing as grown-ups. Once again, I don't think that I need to take the time to explain what that means, but it pretty obviously means that there's no such thing as grown-ups. There just isn't. There are adults who are responsible for the stuff that they do in their life, and they do their best to accommodate, other people, but mostly, follow your own dreams. Follow your own dreams without squashing somebody else's or threatening other people, and don't stab. My main rule for many years has been just straight up don't stab. Don't stab me, don't stab yourself, don't stab anybody. But most just what was that all about? I just thought I'd jump in and say a thing about stabbing. Because I have this body armor. And it's pretty good against bullets, but sometimes I can get clawed by a cat. It's a funny... Yeah. Way too hot and dry for Batman voice. Way too hot and dry for Batman voice. We're drawing in Adobe Animate. And this bottle of Cat Powerade is just dripping. Just dripping. Just trying not to get it on anything. Space Goo and Patty Prue. One is here and the other's here too. Pat's got emotes that are his own face. And that's the coolest thing in the 2020 space. I started talking about Powerade because Powerade's fantastic. As far as I know, I'm sure it's made by a company that supports Trump or something. But as far as I know right now, it's got some B vitamins, and there's no such thing as grown-ups because grown-ups don't act like this. Grown-ups don't do these things. And I'm not even talking about these things. This is what an adult does. They take their passion and they turn it into something. They do something with that time. I'm part of that thing. Before I was nothing. I was just a nothing. I was a petrified, thinking I could never be without existence inside. And then you were like, "I'll draw your face. I'll give you a place, and you'll survive." Oh, you'll survive. Hey, yeah. That was a stretch. But yeah, you put your effort and you do a thing. Oh man, I can't even remember the last time I had actual straight up Kool-Aid brand juice flavoring crystals. I know that it was the best. It was definitely the best. God, that'll get me on a juice bag tangent, and how juice bag juice was still just that weird factory tang of the metallic cleaners that went into whatever it was that combined all of these things into a juice and shot into a little bag that you would bite the corner off and spray that juice hard into your mouth like you were some kind of sports commercial. You can call them mini sips. Where I came from, they were juice bags. And when I moved away from where I lived, from where I came from, which was this town here a long time ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, juice bags. We should get some juice bags. That's like the best juice. And half a room of people were like, what now? Are you throwing around racist epitaphs? And no, I said juice bags. It's a bag of juice. and they were all like, "That's not a thing," or "Are you talking about mini sips?" Sorry, rich guy, don't know what a mini sip is. Mine didn't have no brand names on it. It was a bag of juice, and then maybe there was a list of the other colors that it came in, not even necessarily flavors, and possibly the amount of sorbitol and flagellinated glutamate that are in a bag of juice. And yeah, so a lot of people, it's usually the smaller towns like ours, still call them juice bags because we didn't trade in mini sips. I didn't understand what a Nike was for so much of my life, and why there was a thing about the sneakers. But yeah, juice bag is the generic because we all had bags of milk. I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know if you can still get milk in a bag. I haven't purchased or drank actual cow milk in, I don't even know how long now. Like well over 5 years, I'm gonna say. And aside from like ice cream and stuff, excuse me, which I'm trying to sway my way over to non-dairy ice cream, which it's not a great thing because I just keep eating it like it's healthy. Oh, it's non-dairy. Like no, it's not gonna keep me up all night destroying toilets and burning my intestines. But it's still not good. It's still just sugar and I mean, almonds are good, right? The last one I got was made with almonds, so that's got to be good. I don't know. So anyway, I have no idea if you can still get milk in bags anymore, but that was my thing, and people were like, yeah, milk can be in a bag, but a juice bag? You're talking crazy. Like, it's a liquid in a bag. Why? What? But again, those same people be like, what do you mean you're not going to have tomatoes? I saw you eat ketchup. You like ketchup. Therefore, you must like tomatoes. Like, no. I like salt, and I apparently enjoy vinegar. I like to be exsanguinated. Is that a proper word? Of all of my moisture through things like that. But yeah, tomatoes. Oh my God, get them out of here. This just in from our reporter Patty Prue on the 101, and he is saying milk bags are still a thing. You can still get bagged milk if you need to. This has been your milk update for Tuesday. Hey, don't forget that at most gas stations, Thursdays and Fridays, the milk is cheaper because that's like the oldest it could be, I guess, in the store. But yeah, if you just go for a walk around town, every single gas station and/or corner store that sells milk that's not a grocery store will have a sign that says, "Hey, don't forget, Thursday's the day to get milk at the gas station." Or you get your milk at the gas station? Is that your milk purchasing place of choice? No. I have, but yeah, there's certain things like getting like a full-size tub of ice cream at the gas station. I'm not going to enjoy it as much. And it's got that gas station taint to it. Bagwatch 2020. I thought of something I wanted to draw today, and now... What was that? Some Danny DeVito action is what I was going to do. But we'll need some reference. Some reference for you. So I'll click on my internet and pull it down here so I can see Mr. Danny. And we're going to type Batman Returns. Oh, it's already right there. Second one down. Penguin. Top searches for Batman Returns are number 1, Batman Returns cast. Number 2, Batman Returns Penguin. We're going to hit images. This is how art is made. If you don't know, if you are one of these young people that are about to become an adult or non-grown-up, which is, a good person. Grown-ups are just people, like I said, they're just pretending to do the grown-up things they saw on TV, and those aren't real. That's just nonsense, and 90% of the time is just abusive to women. There, I'll say it. I'll say it, and I don't care. The rest... Are penguins even real, though? Was it on this one that we talked about? Did she think penguins are real? My friend's friend... We definitely talked about how she didn't think gorillas were real. They're just an imaginary thing based on the imaginary character King Kong. They're a smaller version of King Kong to help tell stories. And I think it was penguins. Was it penguins? I'm pretty sure she said that penguins also don't exist. Like, that doesn't make any sense. A bird that can't fly, that's not a thing. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Scrolling through pictures of Oswald Cobblepot, watching his big old weird face rotty rot. He's got a big hat, and that's real fun, but maybe we'll do a naked-headed one. Surprisingly, not a lot of great pictures. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, lately, even just within the last week, and the amount of things just scrolling across where it is just like, these things aren't a matter of belief at this point. It is, you live in the information era. It's all there, and because we have Weird Joe exotics and zoos everywhere, you don't have to actually go that far to actually see some of these things in real life. I mean, in my lifetime, I never thought, like, I've been searching forever. Virtually everybody I know either has a story or photos of, check it out, we found a little turtle on the road. We live down the street from you. We found a turtle. Searching the woods, walking along rivers, streams, anywhere and everywhere, just like, where's the turtle? Walking with a dog. Hey, Burke, find a turtle. I won't let you kill it, but just sniff out a turtle for me. But he doesn't know and he doesn't care. And I just still, other than that, like the zoo, animal sanctuary, whatever it is, somewhere near here, it's been a while. I went there a million years ago, and there was a few, I want to say Nova Scotia tortoises, I think they are. So I'm just like, are you kidding? Yes, they are that, because I was like, these are called Nova Scotia tortoises, or Nova Scotia turtles, whichever they were. And I'm just like, excuse me? Somebody? I call BS? I call BS Baracus. What's going on here? I've spent my entire childhood dreaming of just coming across a turtle, and there's no way. There's no way they're not here, like in Canada, let alone in Nova Scotia. And then, I don't know, I'm 20-something, well beyond the age of, believing whether or not turtles are even real. And it's just like, what conspiracy is this? What conspiracy is this? But sorry, buddy, what conspiracy has this been this whole time where we have a turtle with our province in its name? So where is it? Where is it? Still yet to see one. But somehow in my lifetime, on a vacation, literally like face to face with a sea turtle is just sitting there. Like, I'm trapped in this cage with you, and I'm like, I'm trapped in this cage with you too, dog. I don't want to be here. Like, if I thought that, I wouldn't get shot or stabbed by these people that have arranged this thing, or definitely have to pay whatever it costs, if I just grab onto a sea turtle and huck it over the fence and go, you're free, odds are somebody will very quickly go grab it. I don't know how fast a sea turtles probably can get away pretty quick. But, just the fact you're sitting there floating, tears inside your diving mask is just like, I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here with these nurse sharks. You can tell me they're as docile as you want, but you showed me it. You showed me how it eats, and you showed me how powerful its jaws are. And you put a fish in there. You put meat product in there. Therefore, if it does get in the mood to chomp me, then that's a thing that can happen now. And yet again, I know you can keep pointing to the baby. Hey, there's a 2-year-old baby in a little floaty thing, and she doesn't care. She doesn't know any better. She doesn't know any better. She's terrible parents that are potentially feeding her to some sharks and or getting whipped by some stingrays. It was a magical, amazing time, but still does not subtract the fact that oh, it was the best vacation ever. Like from beginning to end, best vacation ever. Like even within that point, because like I said, it's like once I sat there and I was just there was this moment where I finally was like, even though right behind me, like inches behind me, there was like I don't know 6 various sized sharks and like I don't know another 7 to 12 various sized stingray dealies. One like definitely like just big as a kitchen table. Like that's fine. This is all fine. But after a certain point, I'm just like, no, nothing's bothering me. Everybody's busy trying to touch the sharks, and this turtle was just like, or well, he didn't cross his arms. He was just like, hey man, this is what I gotta do. This is what I gotta do. So what are you gonna do? You gonna fight it? You just float with it. And I'm like, you're right. We're on camera, and I promise you, I never actually said anything to the turtle. I just looked at him and thought like, yeah, this is crazy. This is bananas. But if really the only thing we can do, if either of us are going to get eaten alive by a shark or even stabbed by one of these British people, either way, what are we? We're gonna sit here being tense, and we're just gonna die, and just get murdered in that thing, or just like, hey, how did he die? Honestly, he looked pretty relaxed. It was like, hey, he was having the greatest adventure, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's try and go with things for a little bit. And I mean, it came and went, cause right after that was just like, all right, that part of the adventure's over. Let's go back over to the bus, and we'll get that bus ride, the terrifying still bus ride of just like, hey, we're just in this like cage like area, like a Planet of the Apes being dragged around. Like, all right, don't really like roller coastery type stuff, but. And again, still there's like kids that are like, It's like, how come I feel like I'm being thrown out of this truck at every single inch? And meanwhile, people are just like, what? Checking my phone, putting on makeup. Like, what is the world? What is this? So we get to where the bus is, and there's no bus, and we're just like, there's no bus. Go to like the zoo guy, like, hey. Did the bus come? Like, yeah, the bus was here. Uh-huh. And they got everybody on it. Like, no, they didn't. We're right here. What's going on? You said we'd have time to get back to the bus. Like, nope. All right, cool. I guess, I go sit in that pile of dirt and break into tears because I'm in another country. And I am lost, and I don't know how to get anywhere, and I'm wearing flip-flops. I can't do anything with flip-flops. This is bananas. So then we somehow hitched a ride on another bus going to a different resort, and they were looking at us like, that's crazy. Like, how? Oh my god. Like, don't make it crazier. Like, it's normal now. We got another ride. There's other tours going through all the time. Like, this shouldn't be. Like, if I'm not being that traumatized, then you guys shouldn't be throwing extra trauma on me. I'm the one who's scared of things. Danny DeVito as a penguin. Can't find one that I really want to draw. It's all the same. It's always the same one from the promo photos. Scrolling. Why did I bring up the turtle thing? Anything is possible, I guess. I don't remember why I was going on with that. Something about turtles. Something about possibility, hopes and dreams. Conspiracies, penguins. And that took us over to, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen... I never went to anything that would have penguins. Did I? I don't think so. Let's go with this one here. Will I drag you, or are you web locked? Nope. Wah. Beep. Beep, beep. Pen. So anyway, sometimes it just feels like I need a slightly bigger screen. So, sometimes we start with an actual rough drawing. And by we, I mean me. I mean, I usually do. It's just on the stream. I'm always like, just draw something. Make it be done. So that people can't judge how crappy it is. But as far as the comic goes, update from last week, I did all the pages. I did more to them than I planned on doing. And as of like Saturday morning, I was like, all right, it's done. It's done. I have like maybe 2 hours at the most of just like little touches and just adding these little illustrations to the titles just to make it all pop nice and seem very finished. So, and my other plan, so I had 2 plans: finish the book and get laundry done. That's it. I'm like, I'm going to go to the laundromat right away. First thing in the morning, go into a new laundromat that's hopefully not racist. So, let's see what happens there, or at least is a little less racist. I don't know. But the hours are different. So I was like, I got to go first thing Saturday morning, because Saturday is definitely going to be crazy. Got up early, did a little bit of yoga exercise, and by little I mean like 15 minutes, virtually nothing, but just enough to keep me sane. And then mopped and swept the floor, and I'm like, I'm going back to bed. It's still early. And then woke back up after the laundromat opened, went and did some laundry. God. Then I did the dishes, then I'm like, oh, I have an idea for a comic strip that's basically like Milo saying, hey, I thought you were supposed to be working on your book, and then me just being like, no, why? I can't finish things, and there's a Nazi colony being created back home for some reason. Where I'm from, that's the news. Hey, Nazis are buying up property and starting a Nazi colony. Good to hear. Good to hear. Glad to see that real estate's still going. I don't know what to say or think anymore. And you know, that added together with all of the things, it is like, again, why make a book? Who am I making a book for? I'm just going to try to sell it to Nazis? I don't even know. It's nutsy. So then I thought of whatever the other comic that I posted the other day was, basically about that, like, oh yeah, the Indiana Jones one where Milo's like, hey, are you watching The Last Crusade? I love The Last Crusade. And I'm like, nope, this is just regular present day Nazis. Oh, that's exactly what it is. Rough sketches, do. So then next thing I know, I'm like, now I'm doing another comic strip instead of finishing the whole book. Like, I don't need more pages. But then once I did that page, like, well, now I need more pages to balance out the fact that I just added one. It's gotta end on a a round number. A round number? No, an even number. Oops. So then we added the Ripley Chewbacca thing, and now Ripley has, at least 3 pages out of 90 in a whole book. And that's plenty for her. So then what did I do? Oh, then I was like, I'm hungry. I don't want to make any of my own food. I'm out of here. Plus, still also on this weird thing where I'm like trying to, again, it's like going back in time to learn how to be a part of society again. Going outside without being afraid of everybody and everything. It's like, I don't know how long this is going to take because it's very confusing. So I just went, grabbed some drive-through real quick, and then I'm like, it's such a nice day. Like, I'm just gonna grab it. I'm gonna go up to the other place that I found before, where there's some trails and the water. I was like, I should just be able to sit and eat, and that'll be great. So I pulled into the first place that I thought was basically the same, and I'm like, oh wait, nope. There's many places that connect to these trails. Excuse me. And this one, when I parked the car, is mostly a view of this big giant, like, kind of bush area, but I get still just slightly off to the side, like, hey, there's still all the fields and the water and whatever in the distance. So, like, whatever. Like, it's a nice day. I'm still outside. I probably don't want to go sit on a bench anyway. I'll just overthink that, so I'll just eat in the car and everything will be fine. And I eat. To-do. And all of a sudden, this car whips in, like, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, do I have to fight these people? I don't know. Maybe this is a place where people come to fight. I don't, it just seemed like, it's where people come, they take their bike out, and they go onto the trail usually, or old people come, and they go hiking down the trail with their old people sticks, and everything's wonderful. But this car just whips in, but like turns right around. So I'm like, are they gonna back up next to me? Like, what is about to happen? It's the only thing they could be doing if they're not turning around. But this is just such a hard and fast whip into this place. You guys, you're ready to go hiking for sure. And they just whip around, and then they're facing the road, but not driving back onto the road. They just stop, car turns off, and I'm just like, I don't know what happened. And like kind of lean forward and look in my mirror, and I can just see what can only be described as a mom just going, hanging out the window. Just the old, like, I can't do this anymore. Being a mom is the hardest thing in the world, and I just have to put my head in my hands and let Jesus take this wheel, I guess. And it's like, and Jesus didn't want to, because she just stayed there for the longest time. And I'm like, all right, anyway, done eating. Feel weird looking at scenery when there's a car like just right there. I don't even know what they're doing. I just want to get out of here now. And I go to turn, and I realize, like, oh, this whole time there's just been a kid just kind of sitting there, just like, are we gonna go anywhere? Are we gonna go to the trails? Like, we're not even facing nature. We're just looking at the road, and Mom is fully just the whole time I went out. Then I'm like, I'm gonna keep going down and explore some more. And I went down for a few minutes to the road. So when I came back up, she's definitely not gonna be there anymore. I mean, it's been a little while. You stop for a minute, and then, you've got your kid in the car. Seems to be a good kid at this point. If not, that kid just was flipping out. And she's like, that's it. and I'm just gonna sit here until you learn to be a good kid, and then we'll continue on with life. I don't know, but she was just like, this is the worst. And yeah, so they were still there when I went back, and just like, oh man. And all I can think, and this is mean. This is definitely mean. Both things you say are actually kind of mean. No matter how much you preface them with good intentions, they're still gonna hurt someone's feelings. But you know what's fun about that? I'd say rip that cord and let that feelings mower start chopping, cause that's my entertainment. Honestly, you're a monster. But yeah, no, it was like my reasoning or whatever word I just used there is just the like dads are like always the problem. Mostly in the dads like this lady's definitely put all of the effort she has into whatever this day is, and it's 1,000 degrees out, and it is like there's no dad in sight. And everywhere I go, lately, like I've been kind of mentally cataloging this and adding it up, and somewhere in my head working on some kind of weird dissertation on the thing. It was just like I don't have anything other than I'm all for, again, feminism, equality, all those things are great. But one thing that I find just kind of odd is the volume at which I see women picking up and dropping off their boyfriends and or husbands. It's just, maybe it's a local thing to hear, I'm not sure, but it's definitely since I've moved here, I've noticed it a lot, where it's just like, just so often like, I'm the boyfriend. Like, did you ever learn how to, you don't look like you know how to drive. Like, some people you look at and you're like, oh, you have a license? Wow. I'm genuinely surprised by that. You seem like somebody who just wouldn't do that. They have that air about them. It's similar to the air of, oh my God, you don't live with your mom? She didn't just pick you up at your mom's house? Good for you. Wow. Because you seem like somebody who definitely lives with your mom, and your mom's nice enough that when she picks you up, she's like, oh, this nice lady had some good things to say about him, so I'm going to give him a chance, even though he has no job and is still trying to pay his mom back for his Xbox One. I don't know what the new one is called, if there is a new one. But I find I see a lot of that around here. And that, of course, goes in two directions. The one direction is just, hey, no, I've just never left my house. And then this girl is like, no, I will raise you now as husband material, and this won't turn into a mess at all. Hey, can I just come in for a quick aside and say, yes, it will. Oh, it'll be as messy as it gets. That's all for me. Thanks. But no, I'm totally gonna get an apartment, Charlene. Charlene, I'm getting out. I swear I'm gonna get my own place, Charlene. I just have to pay my mom back for my sweet DJ equipment. And yes, I know that I'm not DJing on a professional level, and I don't even do it on a stream where I could do it. And I don't do it anywhere, but I still have to. I've downloaded the YouTube tutorials on how to be an expert DJ, and I've got a lot of deadmau5 CDs. So I mean, I'm halfway there, Charlene, but first I have to, it's really about paying my mom back, and I don't know how I'm going to do that without having a job, Charlene, but Charlene, if you could just lend me $50 so that I can at least give her the $50 I owe her this month, Charlene, then we can have a nice night, as long as you don't want to do anything that requires money, unless of course you want to pay under a drive, Charlene. 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 Please don't take my man. Poor Charlene. Charlene. Charlene, Charlene, Charlene. That guy doesn't have a job. He lives at home, eats corn on the cob. Beauty is beyond compare, with auburn locks of auburn hair. supposed to spend an evening with her friend Jolene. His face definitely should be longer. Transformers, changing his face size. Oswald Cobblepot vows to take his vengeance on the rich people of Gotham. Pee Wee Herman is his dad. Threw him away, which was quite bad. Oswald Cobblepot. Darkness in there. Bigger, darker eye sockety areas. Alright. Hey, wonky face, that's why you should trace everything. And on a new layer. So yeah, what was I saying? So, did laundry, then came back, did 100 other things, did a comic strip, saw a sad lady, and, all that being said, like I said, just an hour or two of work left on the book. At around 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, that's when I'm like, alright, pages are finally full. I'm like, definitely meant to finish this 1,000 years ago. But it's done. So then on Sunday, I'm like, ugh, now I have to actually go through it and really double check everything, because when you move a bunch of stuff around in Flash, there is a lot of chances for just things to go wonky and just to add little blobs or just make weird things. So I went through and had to find all of those and fix them. I see what's going on here. This whole head needs to be a bit fatter. All right. Now we'll do some cleaning up. Let's go with a 4. Let's go with a 4-sized brush. So, meanwhile, in actually interacting with humans in the world, had a few things and I'm like, well, these are of value. I'll take them over to the pawn shop and I'll trade them for something good. My old keyboard, musical keyboard that I got for like $15 over there, is finally running out of steam. It occasionally is just like, bah, bah, wah, wah, wah. Like that's not, or well, not even that. That still sounds like something that more like bing, bing, boop, boop, boop. Like just going into full-blown machine mode. That's not cool. And one of the keys fell off, so I'm like, all right, fine. It was $15 or $19, and like I don't even care. And I think I might have traded stuff for that one as well. Maybe I paid the $15. I don't remember. It's been a while. I definitely mentioned it in the stream about a year ago. So so I bring some stuff over there, and I'm like, all right, I'll make a video where I smash this one to pieces, but I still want just a cheap keyboard with some speakers, because I got my fancy one, but my fancy keyboard, technically you need to like plug it into some stuff, my iPad or the computer, because it's just got like the tiniest little speaker on it, but sometimes that's really nice to just be like, hey, I do just want to mess around and for it to be quiet. But sometimes I actually want to hear it. So I'm still just like want a cheap, you know, just a cheap Casio. And over there they had a couple of cheap Casio. So I'm like, I'll just trade some stuff and get myself a free cheap Casio. So I throw some stuff in a bag and I go over there and go up to the counter, and the guy is like flipping through the stuff, like, yep, checking the numbers, like, yep, this is worth about this much. So like, oh, cool. That's way more than the cheap Casio that I wanted to trade for. I'm gonna go look at some other stuff then, I guess. So I just grabbed a handful of video games and something else. Keyboard, video games. And a fourth thing that I don't remember already, and I don't see it in this room, so it must not have been in this room. So either way, super good deal. Super good deal. I got Breath of the Wild. Space Goonies been going on like, oh, Breath of the Wild is great. Everybody goes on about Breath of the Wild. I had no idea. I didn't realize it was actually out for the Wii U as well as the Switch. And when I was collecting up some games for the Wii U when I first got it, I saw Breath of the Wild everywhere, but it didn't click to me. I just thought like, oh, that's some other game. I must be confused, and the Switch one must be called Breath of something else or Link in the Wild, and I just couldn't remember. So I'm like, well, whatever. That's crazy. Even though from everything I saw, like that game looks like the most amazing thing to play, whether we even care about playing Zelda games or not. And I'm not that big of a Zelda person. I loved playing Zelda 64, but like I've said a million times, my favorite part was just running around and fishing. Like once I got to the point where it's like I'm gonna run around for a while, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the fishing. I don't enjoy real fishing. I don't enjoy video game fishing, but Zelda fishing was for some reason amazing to me. I couldn't get enough of it. So yeah, I saw it everywhere, and then when Space Goonie was like, I want to find Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. Like what? Like so that is what I thought it was? I saw it everywhere, and for every time it was still like $15 to $20. Like it was dirt cheap, like every single time. Going fish bombing. So once she said that, where it's like, I'm having a hard time finding it, like, what? And then as soon as, like, that was that, I never saw it again for, a few months. Excuse me. Now, in my own defense of searching for it, we were locked up for quite a few of those months. And those, the stores I would normally go look at were all closed. So either way, I still haven't thrown it in. But yeah, just the other day, Space Goonie just said like, oh no, I love this game. I can play it so casually. Like, what? I don't look at Zelda as a casual game. Like, you have to undertake the life of this little Link and go through, like, he usually goes from a little guy and has to age and get a horse and get new gear, learn songs. I mean, there's just so much to it that I'm like, there's no way I still haven't even thrown in my, the new Grand Theft Auto just because, ugh. I mean, I'm already living this life. It's starting the life of a criminal. It's just so much work. But like I said, I don't know. Once I get myself settled creatively with projects, I'm going to try and make sure playing games becomes one of my projects, because doing it for fun I just can't do as long as streaming exists. So at this point, I'm somehow, for some reason, saving all of my video game playing for times when I feel it's appropriate to stream video games again. But is buying thing the point of my story? No. No. That's usually my favorite part of the story. When a story is like, hey, so here's the store I was at. Like, I'm intrigued. And then at this store, I went to, like, this aisle. And I'm like, oh, what things were on that aisle? Then the person was like, oh, there was this thing and that thing. And I'm like, oh, which thing did you get? And then they tell me which thing they got. And it's kind of like a real-life Home Hunters or Love It or List 'Ems. When it's like, ooh, which of the 3 homes did you buy? When it doesn't really concern me and I don't care. But for some reason, when someone tells me about their adventures at Walmart, and I'm like, oh, Space Goody. But after you took a big dump at Walmart, did you purchase anything? And that's really my, what gets me through the day. That's, another thing that makes you a monster. But yeah, so the real thing was, after... Yeah, I think after I grabbed my stuff, so there's like a counter at the back. They got like, some glass dividers, some workhorses to keep you away. I've got my mask on. They normally have like face shields on and stuff. So there's like 2 guys. There's like my guy, Taylor, Zach, Taylor, Tinker Soldier Spy. So he's helping me. He mostly helps me when I go there. So we're just like, hey, joshing about video game stuff and whatnot, and the city and what's going on. And this other guy, he's there with like his wife, trying to pawn some stuff. So he's brought a big TV, big old flat screen. Like, here, take this TV. What can I get for it? Something. His girlfriend / wife, she's back at the section where there's like a big jewelry counter, as if it's like an actual jewelry store, talking to the lady up there, like checking out rings, like, oh, this one, that, and every few minutes, like, hey, honey, get over here, like, you gotta see this, like, I don't know, maybe get some real shorts, maybe invest in some real clothing that's not 7,000 years old, because there's no jewelry in there that's going to go with the stuff that either of you are wearing. Anyway, you guys are brilliant people. Because the dude, the whole time, he had his phone. And this is a very true thing anyway. Everywhere I go, anytime I go anywhere, there is always somebody walking around with some kind of stereo. Like either a fairly old style-ish ghetto blaster, but they're always at least minimum this big. An old radio or a new radio, but it's definitely a thing that you would have like in your camper or in your home or on your step. But everybody's just carrying stereos. So you definitely saw one guy like, there's no handle on that. You're fully baby bassineting this thing around and playing it out loud. Not one of these people has headphones. Not one. And this guy, it's like, at least it's a phone. At least you're playing music from the way people play music now. Even though we're in a store with an awful lot of CDs and records, but like people collect records, CDs. I still have one of those CD holder binders in a closet with, most of the CDs that I've had throughout my life. And I feel insane to still have them. There's no CD holes in anything I own anymore. Whoa. And a snipe. Thanks for following. Oh, I'm not logged in over here, so I can't see the name. Ooh, but it sent me an email. So I can read it without getting up. Inner snipers. Inner snipers. Inner snipers. Inner snipers. Inner snipers. Inner snipers. 'Cause if you take one shot, it might as well hit it. That's why you need your inner sniper to win it. Inner sniper ringtone. Oh man. All right. So, oh, it's an L. Snipes. Snipes? Snipey. Miss your snipey. He will snipe your head away. He'll hit his mark, but his name's not Mark. You can call him Snipies today. 'Cause he's a hip hop and you don't stop. He'll shoot you in the head till you drop. Collect up your stuff like he's harvesting crop. Now he's got your energon cubes. So anyway, I'm there. This other dude's there. He's playing his music out loud. He's walking back and forth. There's music playing in the store that I am already bopping to. I'm already in the store. Do like I do in most stores, especially when I'm sitting and waiting for somebody to do something on a screen. And he's there, he's playing it, he's going back and forth. And, you know, normally I can tell a story and I don't need to bring up the race of anybody in the story. It's just, hey, here's the thing that happened. Race doesn't matter. This dude was white. He was wicked white. His wife was super white, wicked white. I'm super white. Taylor, Tyler, Tinker Spy, he's white as well. And cell phone guy is playing some hip hop and music, and it's fine. It's fine. It's great. If anything, when he's in my vicinity, I am now bopping to his music because there's no other, there's no other means. And it sounded good. It sounded fine. I don't know any of the songs. Didn't recognize any of the voices at all. Now, here's why I bring up the type of music and how white the guy was. Because he was singing along. He was singing along to the music that was mildly to mediumly N-word centric. And I'm just sitting there like, did I just... What? No. Hey, what's... Did that... Oh, did I mention when I said before, there's two dudes. Taylor, Tinker, Soldier Spy is helping me, and I don't know the name of the person helping the other guy, but he was black. White dude seemed to have no issue whatsoever with what he was doing. And I'm just like, what's happening right now? But the whole time, the guy helping cell phone guy was, for the most part, just kind of like laughing at him. And I was like, all right, this is great. At least he's laughing at him. And whatever. This doesn't have to turn into anything crazy. But this is in some way happening, and I'm not imagining it. But I don't know. Again, like, this guy is going back and forth, also dealing with the girlfriend. Like, what about this ring? Like, I'm trying to make some money over here, but selling off our TV. Like, I feel like it sounds like you guys need to get some money to feed your kids. I don't know. There's a lot of things being thrown around here. So, anyway, he does his stuff, and then he's gone before I'm done. And then I'm just like, look up at Taylor, Tyler, and the other guy. I'm just like, was that guy, was it just me? Was he singing along with what was on his phone? and they were just like, I think so. I believe so. And I'm like, all right, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And then I just looked back at them before I left and was like, yeah, I guess like headphones and racism, super hard. Speaking of, that probably sounded crazy, moving the microphone around. But I don't know if you could hear that. But in case you weren't aware, of a certain fact, you play your heart, and you no, I show you my heart, and you play your game. You give love a bad name, shot through the heart. There you go, and you're to blame, baby. You give love a bad name, I play your rules and you play your game. Maybe you give love a bad name. So anyway, that's what was cranking outside. It's gone now. Well, it's somewhere. You can still hear them. They're still out there. Oh, time to unfold my legs. Now, I did make some notes this week. Not there. One of them was a guy at the pawn shop. Check. The other one. Oh, yes. All right. So let's go with one. Let's go with the lesser scary. So this is from the actual news. This just in. I believe this was yesterday. 2 o'clock yesterday on Monday. Niagara police in Ontario arrested a guy because he drove through the border. Dude came up from Florida. Drove through the border without stopping, without getting stopped. Made his way through, broke through. You're not stopping me. Made his way into downtown Niagara, I guess. Excuse me. And drove erratically. He had a bunch of drugs. Was on a bunch of drugs. Blah, blah, blah. He hit a police car. I'm here. I'm in Canada. I'm safe now, I guess. The nice, soft Canadian police cars have cushioned my entry into the country, as I assume is the custom. Where's your bacon and donuts, And they were like, no, dog, you're coming with us. So they hauled him in. And then when, like, the nurses and stuff, he still, like, freaked out, fought everybody. And then, yeah, when they tried to get him medical attention, he bit a nurse. He bit somebody. And so not to lean too heavily into the states becoming Z Nation. No, that's the TV show. What was the movie called with Bradley Pittington? just called Z. World War Z. There we go. So yeah, just in my head. Oh, let's go back to my remote. It pushes us a little bit closer to this like World War Z type of thing, where I'm like, no, I don't want there to be the zombie thing. But holy snaps, there's a whole chunk of planet that's just like, we're kind of gunning for it. I mean, we'd rather fight the zombies than be the zombies, but somebody has to be the zombies, right? So we're going to do it. We're going to take that bullet twice, because, we assume this isn't going to kill us, and then we'll have superpowers, I guess, and we're going to 28 days later, everybody, and that's the dream? That's always been the dream. Welcome to Florida. See you in 28 days later. You put your hands in the air and shrug your shoulders like, does anybody care? Hey, party people, I know you're going to dig this. Reach it, teach it, thump it out, beach it. Put your head in the air. Hey, a little forth over there. Something else, and that thug. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Yeah, I do, of course. Only too hot, never too cold. You take your best shot. Too hot to hold. Everything's hot and something else cold. You gotta get your porridge. Wait, no, that's about the bears. I got mixed up with the bear thing. Oh, thogs are hard. They sure are, buddy. They sure are. Let's draw some more Oswald Cobblepots. See what that looks like. Creepy eyes. Do. You're terrible at cybernetic octopuses. Octopi? Hola, Demon 13. Hola, Demon 134. ABC. We went through this last time. I can't think of any Espanol. I can, hable. No hable Espanol. Por favor? Wait, no. Por favor is please. Right? I have to say, the hi and bye is fantastic, but even more magical. I would have just railed on that, like, oh, thanks for nothing, whatever. That's why my average is 3 for viewers. But that was just adorable. The like hi and hi and a bye. And then going back to be like, oh, before I go, though, I will correct my spelling mistakes, because even though I hate you when I'm out of here, I don't want you to think that I can't spell. But oddly enough, I thought the and a bye part was like, oh, and a bye was just an adorable way to write it. Ah, well, sorry. That was all the Spanish I needed, and or I fully just offended that person with my terrible Spanish. But when you're running with the devil, like Demon 134 ABC, that's the kind of thing that you gotta expect. The devil doesn't play games, and I don't have a fiddle. I don't have a fiddle. How's your nose shaped, you weirdo? That's weird. So that was real news. Oh, I'm gonna click over to my notes. And the other thing was Ah, yes, that's what it was. If you live in the world and you wanna go walking, you gotta know that other people will be talking. And by talking, I of course mean our Screaming at Me of the week. Every week, just about, if I go for a walk somewhere in the world, somebody will take the time to scream from their car at me in inaudible horror, or sometimes specific words such as, "Hey, have you seen my dog? I don't understand what game we're playing, and I don't know how to get in touch with you if I do see your dog, sir. But you're already long gone, so this is bananas." So this week, changing it up a bit. Usually it seems to be just rowdy dudes. Just a car jam-packed with rowdy dudes, and they hang out the side. Like, all right, cool. Thanks for the hate crimes. Carry on. Thanks for not murdering me. And this time, it really got me. For some reason, I just wasn't ready for it at all. Like, normally I'm just like, it starts with a like, all right, cool. Like, I could hear that one coming for a minute, or I could see you hanging out. This one was just like, car comes by, like, from behind, and all of a sudden just there's a car there, and just like, just this scream, just like, after a second, I'm like, maybe that was a scream for help. Maybe I should be taking down that license plate and calling somebody to help that poor lady that's in that car. But no, that was clearly to scare me. And there's a good chance I might be a TikTok, because I did jump. Like, usually I'm like, whoa, what? That time, it came in, piercing noise real quick, and I fully did a wah, jumped, like, leg up in the air, and to the point where it's like, oh, well, that was a reaction. Definitely gave a reaction there. Maybe I just got TikToked. It's a very good chance just teen girls with a license like, hey, let's come up with some TikToks. Well, what TikTok are we doing now? The surprising someone prank challenge? Like, that's what most of them seem to be. Let's do that. Like, no, I'm not getting the random nudity challenges. Nope, we're going to get screamed at. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm a TikTok. The only rhymes I can think of have swearing. That's how people have fun in the Maritimes. Avocado shakes. That's how people have fun in the Maritimes. Again, it's really no different than this. You mean what? This is your screams? Instead of sitting in your car screaming with your friends at random people, you're like, I'm going to put it on the internet so that in case people are too busy to get screamed at, they can hopefully load this up and have it scream at themselves for them. Just press the, I need to get screamed at today by some maniac. Oh, maybe this guy. He's got a cute little cat. Probably really the cutest cat ever. The handsomest, bestest cat in the whole world. And I'll just watch that guy, his mind break down. While this cat makes fun of him. Seems like a good deal. But yeah, that's what people do. Kyle Pike! Holy snaps. Kyle Pike, I used to babysit him. He liked to steal candy and hide it in the couch. That is also true. I mean, I really can't judge people too hard, just in the fact that in the car is where I do, like, I other than on this stream, I really don't sing around the apartment because, there's really no reason to, and it's pretty quiet. Oh yeah, you are! How things have changed. I still, in all honesty, I still tell this story in this way, where long time ago, galaxy far, far away, there were two boys, Cain and Abel, let's call them, Kyle and Abel. Kyle was just the tiniest, cutest little kid, and then he had a brother, slightly bigger, tougher. Now I believe the sizes have changed, and Kyle's 12 feet tall, and his brother is still taller than me, I'm sure. But yeah, Kyle would get in trouble because, like, oh, the little kid keeps getting caught hoarding whatever treats his mom has. And I mean, don't even get me started on the treat value at Kyle's mom's house. She's just like, that's it. That's what she lives on is Treatville, and it's magical. So once that kicks in those children, it's just like, oh, of course he's just gonna go squirreling away food all the time. But the truth you found out later was the older brother was sending the little one out on missions because it's like, well, he's not going to get in trouble, like he's just a little minor, and then he'd come back like and make sure you bring enough for both of us, and I won't rat you out for what you're doing. And for a minute I lived at their house when I had no place to live, and so there's a few little stories, interactions I got to witness, and it was kind of magical in that, like, just, hey, what the... There's like all of the popsicle, bar, chip, whatever snack packaging exists, it's all in this couch. Like, just all in this couch. And the older brother, Kenneth, wait, no, that's, yeah, Kenneth. Fully just being like, ugh, little kids, am I right? Oh, these little kids, like, oh, incorrigible. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't go punishing him. Let me talk to him. I'll take him aside. Let me big brother this guy. Let's see if I'll straighten him out. I'll scare him straight over here. So that was like one of my favorite kid type adventure stories. Was the framing, the great framing of Kyle. And I thought that was just great. But speaking of children and how insane they are, so yesterday, my friend Amanda, maybe she's watching. Hi, Amanda. She stopped by and she brought her kids. It's two kids. They look the same. Actually, they don't look anything like each other, but they're the exact same age, and they might as well look exactly the same because, you know, they were born at the same time. I don't know where I was going with that, and I don't care. So she shows up with these kids, and like I've said before, like, these kids love me. This place is a magical, amazing place for them. Even though minute one, as soon as they get in the door, mom voice is just like, by the way, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything in here. Nothing in here is for you to touch. And then meanwhile, there's like a shelf out there that has like all the best toys in one shelf. Like, oh, I didn't know you had this guy. I didn't know you had that guy. I didn't know you have this guy. What? I didn't know. Like, yep. I got all the best toys. Don't touch them. Here's a bin full of all broken toys. Most of them don't have heads because they're up on my shelf over here because I'm painting them with my head. But anyway, if anything seems too broken, don't cut yourself on it. I'm not a good parent. Don't cut yourself on anything in there. But yeah, you can play with the shards of broken toys, some of which are that kid's toy that I stole from his house when his mom was cleaning out their old toys. But yeah, like, again, like, they love me. I can have fun with them. But man, oh man, they're just so exhausting. Like, burn you out so fast. So they're just like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you can play with all this stuff. And even then I'm like, you want to play with the keyboard? Here's my cheap keyboard. And you know what? Here's my $160 keyboard that I think is super expensive and kind of one of my pride and joys now. But the reason I got this one is also because it's definitely sturdy. So if I do drop it or anything happens, it's going to be fine. And I'm not at all worried that you're going to smash it. You seem like you can keep it on the table or keep it on your lap and just have fun with it. So everything should be fine. And they're pulling stuff out. Like, what about this? What's this? What about this? and still is like, oh, can I use this? Pull out like one of my old recording devices. It has like built-in microphones, a couple of XLR microphone jack holes in the bottom, a few dials and switches on it for recording things. And I used to use it for recording everything, and since then it's gotten super wonky, but it looks cool, sci-fi-ish. So I threw it in there amongst the broken things. So if needed, I can use it as a part to make something else for stop-motion-y things. Or puppets or whatever. I make things every once in a while, and I'm like, I never have any computery parts to put into stuff. This is going to be that thing. So, Nash pulls that out like, oh, what's this thing? And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was in there. I was like, yeah, that's a whole audio recording studio basically. And Amanda's like, oh my god, like, don't touch that. Just like, it's already broken. There's nothing to do. It's like, it's only then in there for me to smash apart later and turn into something else. So it's fine. It's like, you can play with it. It's like, well, you know, I want to use it. Like, make it do what it does. Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, see those holes in the bottom? That's where a microphone gets plugged in. And then those things at the top, those are microphones. There's no batteries in it. And like I said, it hasn't worked for a long time. I've replaced this thing twice now. It's in the bin of broken things. Then they go over to my shelf, my other shelf, where I've got like a Transformer helmet, that weird dog mask, where the mouth opens, and there's a microphone there as well. And but it's like one of my real microphones. It's just on a shelf, but again, still one of the older ones. So if they throw it around, I still wouldn't care. I have better ones. It's more or less just a backup at this point, slash a thing to look at on that shelf. So that it's like, same thing, like, what about this? I want to use this, make this work. Like, it's doing everything it can right now. See again, the holes in the bottom, that plugs into something, and then you have to go into something else, either a recording device or an amp or whatever. Like, right now, it's just a stick. That's it. It doesn't do anything. I was like, I don't want to, you guys aren't here that long. So, you know, just kind of keep you happy while I talk to your mom, because no offense, I don't have a whole lot to say to small children. So they're just doing stuff. So, but once I gave them the keyboards, like, they were fine. It was like the one keyboard, the volume doesn't go up, so super great. The other one has some volume. That's why I got it. So that was like, it cranked all the way to the top. Like, just turn it down. Like, cranked all the way down. It's just like, turn it up a little bit, all the way back up. Like, no, that's all the way, and then that's the all the way to the bottom. Go to the middle. Just turn it up to the middle, and he turns it up a little bit, which isn't the middle. And I'm like, that's fine, perfect. And again, same as last week when I'm like, what are you talking about? Your dog was hiding. That has nothing to do with your floor flooding my apartment. Deal with the flooding, then go find your dog. Plus, your apartment is not big enough to worry about your dog hiding. His reaction to sorry, I got caught up in thinking about the kind of lines I'll use here. Damn it, which one I was talking about? Keyboard. Oh yes, the volume. So then, just like that, where I'm like, you know the answer. Like, the same reason that I get upset with the dog when I'm with the dog is I can see that you understand me. I know that you know the language that I'm speaking. Because I'm like, that's perfect. That's when he was like, that's not the middle. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me whether or not it's the actual middle. The point is, we were trying to get you to turn it down, and you kept going all the way down. But the volume you're at right now is actually perfect. But why? Why, if you know where the middle is, did you purposely not do the middle? And that's why I hate all of the people of the world right now, because that's what everybody is doing. Everybody's pulling this 5-year-old, 6-year-old, just horse nonsense on everybody right now, and I just don't approve of this kind of thing, because the same thing was just like, you know, I'm not parenting. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting there eating some chicken. I grab them some chicken so we can all have some chicken. And she's like, you want some chicken? No, I'm not hungry. Can I have all the chicken, though? Yeah, I don't care. I actually got enough for you and then enough for me to eat for the rest of the week because I got to take care of myself. So mom is just like, hey, like, close your mouth when you eat. And his mouth was just barely, like, open. And it's just like, that's gross. And you're eating kind of in our faces, and because that's what kids do. But again, the immediate thing to, like, eat with your mouth closed is, of course, which is blindingly infuriating. Like, oh my god, if you make your mom scream at you in my apartment, you're gonna ruin my apartment for the rest of the day. You guys are gonna go home. This will be forgotten because this is the parent-children dynamic that happens over and over again all day, all the time. But that's not how it works in my home. That's not. This is the most outrage that I have is with this thing, and he's not really here. Seriously, what the get? Stop that. Just stay out of your little kid story and how you hate kids and how the kids were a burden on your life and something about your keyboard. And just stop bringing me into it. I'm over here. I'm trying to right wrongs. I've got a mask over here that's got some good messages on it, and you're just you gotta go sit there and make me feel like I'm less than. I'm not less than. All right, maybe this chair is invisible. Maybe nobody's here as far as you know, but the people out there, just like Tinkerbell style, they can clap, they can believe. Why not just let them believe? I mean, why wouldn't I do that? That's pretty neat. So they do that kind of thing. And, I don't really have to incur this. Like, Space Goonie used to, watch children for a living, which, again, how? But somebody has to do it. And God knows it's not going to be people who have kids. Nobody would want to, yeah, give me some more. No, that's nuts. But then, it's like the Edie thing and then the whatever. But then it's just like, hey, look at me. Like, ding, 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 ding. Could you do me one favor, though, and not put your feet on the keyboard? Like, I'm already cataloging everything and everywhere you go, so that as soon as you guys are gone, COVID reasoning or not, I am wiping everything down with disinfectant wipes. I'm wiping it down so good, so fast, so furiously. Nobody's going to even know you guys were here. Like, that's just a fact. Let's see if we can buffer. There we go. As soon as they were gone, but it's just like, why are both of you putting your feet? My hands go there. That's where my hands go. And now your feet are all over it, and, kids are just sticky and dirty. They're just dirty and sticky. And I had wet wipes out. Like, there you go. Take the wet wipes and do them at that place. Some people put out candy dishes. I put out a wet wipes dish. No, there's not something wrong with me. There's something wrong with the whole system. But mostly it's me. So, they do stuff like that. Again, these weird questions. And then Tatum, the little girl, is like, I want to draw something. Like, no problem. Let me just come into my office and grab some paper and some markers. And of course, both of them like, oh, we didn't know you had this stuff. Like, yes, you did. You've been in this office before. I didn't know you had this. Like, doesn't matter. Don't touch anything in here, though, for real. If you touch anything on this shelf, everything's going to fall down. Don't. And just hands all over the shelf. Like, stop. And it is just like, and I just sit down and just like, everything's been moved. Everything has been moved at least slightly and in some way. And I mean, the big joke to that is, the two big jokes to that are, one, back in college, when I lived with Amanda, she would still come into my room and do the exact same thing that her children do now, except she was an adult. If anything, she's older than me, so she was already more of an adult and shouldn't. But I would have shelves similar to this, and she'd come in and just move them all, or she's like, they're all looking at me. They're what now? They're all looking at me and would turn them backwards. Or, same thing, they're all looking at me. They're screaming at me, just as a joke, and she would put tape, just get electrical tape and put it over their eyes and mouths. And then one day, not too long ago, she sends me a picture, and she's like, I swear I didn't tell Tatum anything about this, but she taped up, the face of one of her little dolls. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course. And that's Amanda there. That's who I'm making fun of, is Amanda's children and Amanda. So then, I forgot what I was gonna do. Oh yeah. So she wanted to draw. So it's like, yeah. They just kind of flow in. Where it's like, I didn't tell you to follow me. I said I'll go get you some paper. But it's just like, and they're just touching everything. And again, it's like, this isn't that big of a deal. Other than I just had this conversation at the laundromat where the laundromat lady was like, I was away for 1 week and now everything's crazy. This dryer was covered in hair. This is over here. Nothing's in the right place. I'm like, don't even, to the choir you're preaching. Let me get a pew over here because I am the choir lady. I'm on your side. I know what you're talking about. And so I told her, just like, yep. Went to the video game store there the other week, and the fact that they were like, whoa, don't touch anything. And I'm like, yes. And everything was just organized. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but when I go to the discount bins of video games, even though it's like Xbox and I don't have an Xbox, I still have to square them all off. I still have to make all of the things in the bin even again, and then I can move on. I don't have to, but I do. So I told that to that lady. She's like, yeah, like, I get where you're coming from. Like, hey, we're all on the same page here. And then, yeah, just a few days later, it's just a full, like, everything, we're just going to turn it around. But anyway, so the adorable thing, I don't know, maybe this is just hey, you can't think like that. I should have called her on it. But I think most of us have seen, I think I showed it on stream, the short that is on the YouTube now of what is it called? My Alien Barbie. So my Alien Barbie that I made, which is a Sigourney Weaver style alien toy, and I modified the body so it's got mostly Barbie limbs because the other alien limbs were broken, and it's got some still alien hands and alien feet. A lot of chopping and gluing and melting things together, and it's wearing a little dress, and it's right up there in a like doll holder, action figure holder thing, so it's standing up. And the little girl's like, like, how come that bad guy is wearing a dress? And I was just like, I didn't really know how to answer that. I was just like, what? I was like, cause she's a girl, and that's her dress. Just because it's a monster, like, oh, holy double standard. But it's also still, like, a double standard that I'm still going to be like, no, I'll still stand by that. Like, yeah, for the most part in your life, if you're in trouble, run to somebody in a dress. Run to a lady for help. Running to a man for help is there's a very 50-50, if not 60-40 chance that it is going to be basically an alien parasite. So yeah, keep assuming that most of the monsters don't wear dresses, because realistically, 'tis true. Then, of course, at the very time, at the exact moment when mother looks to child and says, hey, don't put that expensive fancy keyboard balanced on a chair, on a pillow, on another pillow. Put it down on the chair, or better yet, on the table. And he looked back like, don't make me move the thing. I want to move it over here. I'm 6 and I'm making decisions. And of course, that's when it falls. And it's just like, there isn't even time. I'm just like, I'm not mad. I can see, again, like I said, the reason I let you play with it is because I'm pretty sure that if you do drop it from your height, it won't be broken, so I'm not worried about it. And before I can even say that to him, though, he's just like, like cries and runs away. Like, where did he just go? And it's just like he went in the bathroom, like, So not only is there a small child crying in my home, he's also taken over my bathroom? Like, he's the one who dropped my keyboard. What? Why do I feel like the bad guy? Listen how my voice is going. So, again, just like, it's fine. Nobody's mad at you. Wasn't going to get mad at you. The real issue was, listen to your mom before something gets broken, because your mom can see what's happening. She has some experience with life. And, Kyle Pike is following now. He's a Twitch boy. Twitch boy, wow. I don't know. Worst children ever. No, still the best kids. Like, they're still great. But the other thing that I wanted to, I meant to actually talk to Amanda about this in real life, but probably best not to judge the children's friends and the children when they're in the room. So next time we cross paths in real life, we can discuss. And I know these are like Amanda's friends' kids, but there's this picture that she posted not too long ago, and it's like her two kids like, hey, look at us, just trying to be good kids. And again, the daughter, you can see the evil, but it's like, it's more of a pragmatic evil. She's going to do something with her evil power someday and hopefully save the world or control something. But at the heart of it, these are very good kids. You know, very good hearts. They're definitely trying to do things for the reasons of goodness, or at least just to entertain themselves. But there's these other two kids, and the post said something like, hey, it's so glad to have this gang back together. Like, kids loving being back together with these other two friends. And there's these two little kids, these two little boys. And you know that face that I was afraid of when I was a little boy? That's just like, oh, that's an evil child. Like, just a full-blown the good son face, I think. And out of the two of them, one of them is definitely like, heh. Even in this picture, you can tell I'm thinking of 1,000 things that I could do that I know for a fact are bad and wrong. And I will do everything I can to drag every good child into it with me so that we are all accomplices. How to get away with murder, indeed. How to get away with murder. And then the other kid just looks like, I just need someone to tell me what to do, but I'm pretty cool with amoralistic things. And this guy's pretty much my boss. I'm going to be a sidekick at least until I'm 14, and then we'll see what happens from there. But the two of us, we are definitely going to jail. If not me for him, I'll be turning him in. One way or the other, we are going to jail by the time we are 19. And you can just see it. You can just see it. And again, like, I don't know, I've grown up with some of those kids, and some of them did become jail criminals, and others are just like, hey, you're running a business. And Amanda already calls them Thor and Loki. Therefore, you know, she already knows which one's the evil one. I think she might have said it to me before as well. But this is recorded, so, you know, not going to harp on that. Oh, of course. Sometimes I don't even know if Amanda knows the real names of people. I know that most of her friends all have code names, and she'll say them as if, like, we didn't grow up together. I don't know any of these people. And it's just like, you know, Razor Ketchup and this thing. Like, yeah, no, those are racist terms now. You can't use those terms anymore. I don't care that it was their nickname since you were 4. That's not cool anymore. But when we went to college, you know, there was all kinds of new people. And we legitimately sat there and spent like forever going through like, who's that guy? And we just made up our own name for everybody rather than learn their real names, to the point where there was definitely times where like be telling a story in mixed company, i.e. people who would know the people or the actual people we're talking to and about. And it's just like, oh yeah, like yeah, Ian's doing this, Ian's doing that, blah blah blah. Ian. And Amanda just looking at me like, which one's Ian? And I have to work into the conversation somehow without people noticing. Briefcase boy. Oh, you mean Briefcase boy? Oh, Briefcase boy, that guy. Yeah, Briefcase boy. He seems like a good guy. You guys call him Briefcase boy? Yep, he's the only one. Nobody else has nicknames around here. Just Briefcase Boy. Don't tell him he's Briefcase Boy. Okay, thanks. Good to know. Good to know. And none of them were clever at all. Like, it was straight up whatever they said at the first, like, orientation, that became their name. Like, oh, God. I can only think of him as Dave now, because he's awesome. I mean, I mostly called him Airbrush Dave, and we all just kind of did after that, because it's like, everyone's name is Dave, and it's like, oh, it's Dave. Like, Dave who? Airbrush Dave. Airbrush Dave's around. Cool. Because he did airbrush brushing. That was his thing. But in his intro to us in class, it was, oh, you know, I'm not just an artist. I worked in the produce industry. I worked in the produce industry for quite a while, so, you know, I know quite a bit about produce. I just spent a lot of time in the produce industry, which I just thought was kind of hilarious, because my cousin has been like a produce manager for as long as I can remember, and he has never in the history of my life said, I work in the produce industry. He's just like, no, like, I'm a Sobeys guy. Sobeys this, Sobeys that, Sobeys rules. And I was just like, oh, wow. So poor Dave, for at least, you know, the first week or two of school was just like, hey, did you hear what produce industry was saying? Oh, wow. Produce industry is super good with an airbrush. We should probably start calling him Airbrush Guy. Not yet. Not yet. Soon. Soon. And the rest of them were nothing but mean names that I will never repeat. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't remember any of the ones that aren't just blatantly offensive to anybody and everybody. I don't want to admit that I helped in the creation of those names in any way, shape, or form. Helmet strap. Yeah, helmet strap. I don't think I called him chin strap. I don't think I knew it was called that. But like the first chin strap beard I've ever seen in my life. And man, it was all like, oh, check out that guy. That guy is so hot. And I every single time was just like, what? Helmet strap over there with the helmet strap? You think the helmet strap is cool? Hey, you know what? You know what looks sexy? Is somebody who looks like their hair is strapped to their head because, you know, they're not that good at life. That's what that guy looks like to me. You think he's cute or hot? Oh my god, yeah. No. No. Call me when there's no helmet strap and I'll give him a second judgment, but that helmet strap alone has, you know, no deal. No deal whatsoever. And for like a literal year, oh, that always happens. Somebody's probably got one right now. I mean, God knows, it's hard not to make fun of goatees. Lots of people have goatees, but it's just like, I'm sorry, 99% of the time, they look insane. They just look, and it's not even bad. They look insane. Even Robert Downey Jr., in some of those scenes, I'm just like, oh, God, fill it in a bit. What are you doing? It's a goatee. Do you live in a van? Are you touching people? Without their permission? But the chin strap thing, and one of my favorite things is the Jake and Amir chin strap. I think it's just called chin strap, Jake and Amir. It's hilarious. Because it's all about, like, Jake has a chin strap, beard, and he's all like, check it out, like, got a chin strap, huh? Chinner, chicken, winner, chicken chinner. And they're just like, what are you talking about? So he's both embarrassed about it, like, no, it's a joke, guys, come on. Like, I'd really get this. But he clearly really does want it. And it's just, I love it. Funniest thing ever. So, I don't know, like a year passes, the next year, and we move into an apartment that's just a street away from here, and come to find out that Amanda has been like kind of hanging out her window and coercing a cat in the next window to climb out so that she can maybe grab and steal it. Or just slash, climb out, cat. I want to see what happens. There's no ledge. There's nowhere to go. It's just pure maniacness. But mostly, I'm going to steal this cat. Like, please don't steal the cat from next door. No, I'm going to steal the cat from next door. Don't steal the cat from... We're not getting cat litter. You guys already will leave all of the garbage pile up regardless of how long I'm gone and still be like, the garbage and recycling has to go out when I come home from visiting my parents. Like, guys, the dumpster's just behind the building. Like, yeah, but we're girls. Hey, you're lucky it's the past and you can get away with that. So every so often, you know, the cat will be peeking out and she'd be like, oh, look who's here, like, psst, 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 harassing this cat. And I would have gave it back. Which is true. It was more about the stealing than the keeping. But the other thing is, once you steal a cat, though, once anybody gets their hands on a cat, within the next 48 hours to a week, you are going to accumulate your own real cat. And again, like, no. We're at school all the time. No. You know, like, a couple months pass. Like, we're in that apartment for at least 4 months minimum. And yeah, so that's the thing. Then to find out she's, like, over there, like, come here, cat. And then Face pops out. And the whole time we've been kind of complaining, like, these drummers next door. Think they're so cool with their drums. Oh, we're drummers. Oh, we're a band. You're not a band. You're just a bunch of jerks and losers who happen to have drums. And I say that, but how they were set up, my room and Amanda's room, no sound. Everything sounds great. What? There's sound? Didn't know. Quietest place in the world. Mandy's room, on the other hand, was just a direct, sound hole, a speaker for the sound to travel through. So she got every bit of drum noise funneled into her room, and we were just like, what? They have drums? So then, yeah, one day, Amanda's out, pss, 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 and then somebody was like, peek? Huh, I thought I heard somebody calling my cat, and it's Chinstrap. Chinstrap lived on the other side of the wall from Amanda's room for, like, you know, a month or two, if not 3, and we had no idea. So then it became like, hey, now I'm just trying to lure Chinstrap over. Like, don't lure people to the apartment. You know how I feel about people. I don't want them here. Let's go to the right layer. Exactly how you get vampires. Like, literally like a scene from Buffy. The movie. I wouldn't know about the TV show. Darkness. Do-do-do. Here's something. Maybe Amanda follows because she's obsessed with Jonathan Depp. Most of her art projects would involve him or Catherine Moss. But last week I mentioned that Johnny Depp is busy fighting libel cases because people are saying that his wife said that he's violent and threw her down the stairs and this and that. Other news things are saying, no, it was actually Elon Musk that was doing this. And today, the news was like, hey, Elon Musk is challenging Johnny Depp to a fight, to a cage match, no less. And all I can think is, what's going on? If this is a real challenge in any way, which I'm assuming it's not, if I did any research at all, and it can't be, but if it is, again, in a world where it's like, you guys are both at the, right now, I'm pretty sure, trying to prove that you're not violent maniacs. And in pure American, excuse me, Trump fashion, like, oh, we'll prove we're not violent with some nice violence. And that's the other thing is, like, you know, I don't see Johnny Depp as a fighter at all. Like, he just seems like, I am pure actor. This is a, you know, I can hold up a lot of scarves and some hats, but beyond that, I'm not gonna kung fu anybody. Whereas Elon is definitely the kind of nerd that was, hey, I'm gross and I'm ugly and I'm bald. I bought some hair, I bought some new teeth and a trainer, and I hang out with Joe Rogan. He is definitely, you know, probably up for a good fight. She pooped in his bed. So that's the thing about trying to follow any of those weird stories, is there's always going to be something weird on top of it anyway, like who knows? And it's kind of like none of my business. What did I see? Oh yeah, I saw a picture that said Katy Perry showing off her baby bump, when it was like, nope, this is a paparazzi guy hiding at a distance at a beach taking pictures of Katy Perry, who clearly is unaware of this and is actively trying to just enjoy a peaceful time at a beach type area where you shouldn't be, I guess, and or somebody's just selling pictures. So it's just like nothing, everything seems creepy and nothing makes any sense. But I'm starting to get real sick of Elon Musk. There was a minute where it's like, I don't know, that guy, I think he's investing money and helping and doing stuff in good, right? I don't know. And now I'm like, I don't care what good he does. Just flame throwing and I almost drifted into, hey, let me talk about these people for a minute, what I think about them, and then I just realized I have a job, and at that job, I actually do artwork for some of these famous people. So, or at least people who represent them, people around them, and whatnot. It's like, I gotta stop starting wars. Gotta stop starting wars on my stream. Except, of course, with Drake. I'm still holding up that bitter feud until it actually starts in real life and Drake realizes, hey, what do you mean my cell phone song is the worst song in the world? It just is. Not Mike Drake. Mike Drake is my favorite Drake. Wait. Drake is Drake's last name, though, too, right? Is his first name Drake? He's Denver, the last dinosaur. He's your friend, and a whole lot more. Wow, his actually is one of his names, though. Of course, the internet's probably counting his first name as Drizzy. Danny DeVito's hair, it's wiry and barely there. Danny DeVito is gonna play this city like a hop from hell. Hey Danny, what's that smell? You living in a sewer without any turtle shell. More darkness over here. Oh, and I learned something super interesting on QI. And same as last week, I've forgotten what it is. Well, I learned a bunch of interesting stuff, but this one was like, ooh, that's pertinent to something. That we talked about before. But I don't remember what it is now. Did I write anything else down? Screaming. Headphones guy. Elon Musk. No. It was the fact that I feel like it was a bird fact, actually, now that you say it. No, it was the episode about radiation. And within the radiation episode, they mentioned that... Oh, yeah. It wasn't that one. It was a different one, I think. But, this doesn't have anything to do with anything. There was definitely a few things that I should have written down and I didn't. But one of them was, there's only, according to this thing anyway, there's only a few animals that have switched over from being herbivores to carnivores and vice versa. Like humans were herbivores and now we're carnivores. And panda bears used to be carnivores and now they're herbivores. Which for some reason never even occurred to me that they're, they are actual bears. Just never really think of it. I just always think of them as like koala bears aren't bears. I think of pandas in the same way, even though they fully look like bears. But they're adorable. They're the penguins of bears. Which is, penguins aren't like real birds, and pandas aren't like real bears. So that's why they eat so much bamboo or whatever they eat, bamboo shoots all the time and so constantly, because it is like their body isn't actually designed to live on just that much little bit of vegetation or whatever. So I'm sure there are ones that still eat meat all the time and whatnot. But based on whatever their situation, as evolution happens, they're like, well, I guess we're just eating this stuff because everything else is gone. But mostly just the fact that I'm like, hey, the interesting part about this to me is, oh yeah, I never really considered panda bears bears. I've drawn pictures of them all the time, and I just think of them as this different thing that is just like, what do you do? Like, I sit up in a tree, and I chew on this root, or chew on this shoot. And that's about all there is to me. Like, alright, cool. No need to think of you as a bear, then. But there was definitely something else on the radioactive thing, but for some reason, the more I try to remember it, the only thing I can think of is how last week I learned that the robot checking system, the, hey, click off all of the bicycles you see in this thing so I know you're not a robot. So that's actually about the computer pinging and actually checking your computer and checking your history to see that you've been doing human things and not robot things. But then right before the stream, once again, it was just like all the stuff I was logged into was like, you're gonna have to relog in. Like, I'm doing my best not to just start sweating horrifically in this hot, hot room. I'm sitting on an ice pack right now, and just get to the stream without overheating. So everything's set up, so I should just be able to like go. Then it's like, nope, relog in. Okay, fine. So I go to relog in to the thing, the restream thing that shows me everything is connected, and it's like, boop, hey, click all the bikes. And at this point, I'm sitting here, and my screen is way over there, and I'm like, I can't tell what is what from here, so I'm just trying to guess. And it's one of those ones that isn't just like, yep, you select the thing and you verify. It's select the bike, boop, boop. Here's a new picture. Like, stop, don't add a whack-a-mole feature to my checking if I'm a robot. So then I'm like going through it. So I got it wrong the first time. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just drag it down to this screen down here. Oh, 2 ice packs. I only have the 1. That's where I'm going tomorrow then. Ice pack shopping. Or some sort of iced pillow system. Anyway, so mad because I'm getting sweaty and hot just out of pure rage of just like I just wanted to start this thing, and now I'm still trying to log in and stuff just isn't connecting because one thing wasn't logged in, so the other thing isn't connecting. I'm like, it's gonna start soon. Like, I was already ready, and now everything just fell apart. But just the fact that I'm like, this is already a thing I've signed up to. This is a thing I've paid money to. And now I'm still like just clicking on pictures of bicycles and still it will stop showing me pictures of bicycles in a way that is like, I mean, I guess I've probably had to do this with logging into my bank, but I can just imagine like going to the bank machine and then all of a sudden it is like, actually, you know what it is like? It's like playing San Andreas, like playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Again, I can't remember the other ones. I don't know if this is in 4, even though I had 4 and played it for a while. But, a fan in the hole of a hemorrhoid pillow. Is that a new hit song? A ballad? Or is it a great invention, or both? The commercial writes itself. If you're feeling hot, upstairs the down, there's only one place that you can go in town. You gotta stop and just go to the shop that sells those hemorrhoid pillows with a fan inside. So it'll blow cold air up in your butt. It's got some ice packs to cool your nut. Oh, that's inappropriate right now, dog, but you gotta buy this stuff now, or you're gonna cook up like The 4th of July. Nope, that fell apart real bad at the end. But I like where it's going. I like where it's going. Or just hemorrhoid pillow style, where it's like pillow, the ice pack thing that freezes, and then I don't know, maybe more pillow or something to keep the seat that you're sitting on from getting soaking wet as it thaws out. Oh, Penguin, why did I even think about giving you even remotely? Ah! So that's what I was talking about. I don't know if you saw that. Just all the artwork disappear for a second. So when I'm updating and editing the book, it would do stuff like that all the time, where it's like, oh, you think you can just resize or select something? No, sorry. That's not a service we offer here. And hopefully you can undo it. But that's Flash for you. That's Flash for me. If you're gonna load up Flash, you better be prepared to get angry. It's gonna crash. It's gonna corrupt. And when you open up too abrupt, it'll say, "Excuse me, son, would you like me to retrieve the stuff I've saved?" No, open what I asked you to open. Excuse me, no, I'd rather open up the stuff I've saved. It's useless to me. Open the file I asked for. I'm gonna ask you one more time if I can open up the file you saved. No! Dear Adobe, stop it. Stop it now. Make the color picker work again, and if I open a file, open that file without trying to decide on whether or not it wants to open up its own files. I don't want to be robotist when the robots take over, but robots are making too many decisions for themselves. And I don't approve. Why your gums go so square? Come on now. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, Penguin, you're disgusting. Disgusting. Wah, 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 wah. Wait a second. I don't know. I don't know what just happened. You picked the wrong camera. Oh, I see. I deleted the Trump animation, I guess. So that just goes to an empty screen. Oops. I guess I can hide the rough now. There we go. Let's have a few more hair scraggles. $10.39. Oh my gosh. No wonder I've been running out of stuff to say over here. It's the middle of the effing night. Guide this. Do 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 do. Let's grab a gross looking yellow. I'm gonna do a little bloop around here. Bloopity bloop, bloop bloop bloop. See, color picker, work. Let's do a quick bit of monochromatic nonsense. Cause America, America, this is kinda you. Real life gaffes from coast to coast, you ain't never seen. You might be a star tonight, so let that camera clean. 'Cause it's the red, white, and blue. We won't wear a mask for you, but we'll pull a gun and we'll gash your mum. America, America. What's wrong with you? Some people just want to feel real free. Just like Whitey, they wouldn't mind some peace of mind. And that rhyme's pretty weak. But in the red, white, and blue, it's the tear gassing you do that upsets me. It upsets you. Don't be so Klux Klanny. You never pull your guns out, you see, to help the weak. You're showing up at some cemeteries to cause trouble while people weep. Hey, red, white, and or blue, check yourself or two. 'Cause it's not cool. It's not cool. This stuff you're doing. But yeah, that's one of my new favorite memes in the Racist of the Week portion of the show. Is the people pointing out that, hey, all the people that are like, the government can't take our guns. They're trying to take our guns. They can't tell me what to do. They can't do this. I will always stand up for America's freedom. And the fact that just like there's a bunch of straight up moms in their t-shirts and mom jeans with signs and or just locking arms and trying to protect all the people that need protecting while you're at home going, don't take my gun. Like, you're so busy protecting your gun that you forgot that you had your gun to protect people. So everything's a waste of time. So in that vein, one of my Racist of the Week videos, the Karens and Kevins, that, I can't believe there's so many, is I don't really quite understand. I didn't go look up what all the context was, but basically, dude goes to a cemetery to like visit his family. I have no idea what race the person with the camera is. I didn't actually watch the whole video, but he is just like there and he's filming and he's just surrounded, 100% surrounded by standard television character brand rednecks. Like, whether or not they want to be called that, these were the version that you would see. Like Jeff Foxworthy would have a list to describe these people just offhand already. Like, I've already written this 1,000 years ago, but it seemed like they were either getting ready to have or in the middle of like a anti-Black Lives Matter, I think is how I like to call it, rather than a White Lives Matter thing, because white lives also don't matter to these people. Nothing matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters to these gun-toting nuts. So he's surrounded. Like, there's just so many people around him, and they're, cameras looking up. They're clearly taller than him. They're all just big, burly, I'm going to say Bubba type guys. Like, they've all got their, like, either Confederate flags, Trump flag hats, or USA hats, or just straight up guns hats. And they're just, surrounding this guy and just like, what are you doing here? Like, what do you think you're doing here? And he's like, I'm just here, like, I'm here to visit, like, I'm here to, like, and he can't even get the words out because it is just like, I thought I was coming to the graveyard where I was going to see, like, my dead relative, who's definitely not going to get up in my face about visiting them because they're dead, like everybody else here. And, like, these guys, they had, like, just the t-shirts that are just, like, we're ready to fight kind of t-shirts. And they were still carrying all kinds of guns, like, full on, like, assault rifles. And they're just saying to this guy, like, what are you doing? What, and he had a Black Lives Matter shirt on. I don't know what color he was, but he had something on that was in positive encouragement of Black Lives Mattering, and these guys did not like that. So like what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? What are you, gay or something? Are you gay? Just like, what? Like, oh yeah, the world is so terrifying because it's like in this situation, it doesn't matter what you're doing that they do or do not like. They're just gonna grab all of the things and project them onto you anyway. So he's like, what is that? What? Like, what are you doing here? What do you think you're doing here? It was like, I was just coming to do the, like, oh, you didn't know? You're saying you didn't know what was going on here? Like, why would anything be going? Like, why are you, like, what? And just the fear that's just like, I assume he didn't get jumped and beaten to death at the end of this video. But it seemed like, man, this guy's gonna get jumped and beaten to death before he gets home tonight, right? Like, these guys are only out for blood. Like, their whole scheme for the day is to be against this kind of thing. Therefore, you know, it's like my mentality goes to the kind of person that's like, I'm going to the grocery store, like, they don't have what I want, doesn't matter, I'm not going home empty-handed. That's the kind of mentality I think that these guys might have, and I would be extra, again, the reason I'm just afraid to go outside normally, and especially now where it's just like, what if I accidentally say I'm not racist in front of racists, then I have to fight my way home again, which is what most of my nightmares are about. I wish I was joking. But yeah, it's just extra terrifying to think about how many of these situations exist. And again, added to it the world where it's like, don't worry, we're sending in special police to beat up your police and your mayor if they show up. Like, what? I still really feel like the United Nations should step in at this point and go, yeah, it's worse that you're doing it to your own country. Oh, for fun. Okay. How do we get rid of you? Go away. There we go. Meh. So again, once the fact that it's gotten to that point where it's just like, man, you're just over there committing war crimes on your own people, and they're saying no, you're doing it anyway, which would lead me to believe, and this will be the last thing I say, and then we'll get out of here, because, oh my god, it's almost 11 o'clock. Is, once he's not president anymore, like the minute that his presidency is over, doesn't he get arrested for all of the crimes then? Because at this point, most of the things he's not in jail for, the reason is you can't prosecute a president for these specific things. So I assume once you're not president anymore, those things become illegal again to you, and you go directly to jail. Like, there's just, you know, there's no room left for, I don't know. We still avoided it this long. I just, Again, what do you think about this woman who's been trafficking children? I wish her well. She's my neighbor, so I wish her well. I don't follow the rest, so yeah. Yeah, right. You're on her list for sure. And even if you're not. And then, yeah, then the fact that he's come back with, oh, actually, like, we're coming up with a COVID strategy now. No, you're not. You don't need a COVID strategy. You already know the COVID strategy. COVID strategy is wear masks 3 months ago. And now it's a mess. And you're acting like, I love masks. Because, you know, you saw in that interview, or I saw in that interview anyway, where he said, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to be right. I will be right eventually. As long as you keep giving me a chance to keep messing around, eventually I do the right thing. It's like, yeah. That's my approach to making dumb things that don't have a deadly impact on the world. But your things have a deadly impact on the world. Ah, well. The Snyder Cut will keep us busy for a little while. When, if and when that becomes a thing. Cause it's the red, white, and blue. It's the fun of things you do. America, America, what's up with you? Why ain't this pen working now? Ain't making lines. Trying to make some lines over here. There. And that's today's doodle. I'm going to stop there because I got to go to bed for work in the morning. And as per usual, swing by the Instagram and I'll post the exported version with the sides all chopped off and cleaned up. And every Tuesday I'm here. And I've got a big collection of video games now. They're all old, but that's what I like. The new ones terrify me because I'm old. And yeah, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all the videos go up there later on, and they seem to be even better quality than the live stream, so if you have to, check out the YouTube, and of course there's a billion, like over 100 YouTube videos of other things I've done with him and other characters, and of course there's t-shirts, no such thing as grownups.com, all the links are there to all the things. Oh, it's down here now, and yeah, talk at you guys next Tuesday. And if it's not too deadly hot and I feel like I've accomplished things, I'll play some live streamed video games, which is really just all about making up random theme songs. Although I have to say goodbye until next week because I didn't say anything for the last few minutes, and I don't enjoy that. I think I should say something. Really, I think we should set up a timer, and every time the timer goes off, like, hey, another 5 minutes, ding, and then I'm like, hey, it's Milo time. What time is it? It's Milo time. Here's time to sing the thrive. It's Milo time, and hey, commit some crime. That's fine. We're done. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for swinging by and hanging out, and that's about it. Ripley? Meow, 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 meow. Perfect. Play those sweet credits.